Alright, welcome back. Today we're going to do some automotive repair. Well, kind of body repair, I guess you would say. So in this corner, I had hit something on the freeway and it damaged this fog light. So we're going to replace that out, and then the covers that went here flew off on both sides. So today I'm going to get all that stuff installed. So here are the covers. There are the fog lights for this car. This is for the other car. We'll be doing that as well. And we're going to get this stuff figured out. I usually do this about once a year. These fog lights get damaged a lot because my cars are lowered. And whenever you have lowered cars, they tend to rub, scrape, hit things in the road, that kind of stuff. So, grab some tools and get fixing this thing. This thing was barely hanging on in here. I believe these are stuck. So that is the wrong side. It is marked top, so I know which one is top. This goes into the side. That's our vents. There's two little brackets. And where's my ratchet? Guess I'll use this one. All right, so this thing is the cover. Now these covers are kind of hard to put on. They have these silly little brackets that go on here. This is the right side, and they are labeled R and L. Phillips screwdriver. Screw these onto this side. got these you got to be very careful with because they do break and they barely fit over there. That's pretty much it. And that's why they fall off all the time. Because, and then this is my brake duct. I gotta climb underneath, connect the hose, and get that brake duct hooked back up. This is a ZHP package. So it's a little different than most of the E46s. It comes with everything M3 except for the motor in a 4-door. And then it does come with a different cam that adds 3 horsepower, or 10 horsepower, and a little different tuning for the motor. And that's it. But it's got all M3 suspension, all M3 body kit, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna probably heat that up a little bit. So now we're gonna move on to the other fog light. And I do keep the old fog lights so that I can make it through the year without having to buy another set, because if something breaks on these, I usually can get the parts off one of the old fog lights, whether it be a bulb, a bracket, a clip. So I do keep my old ones for that reason. Now this side worked because it didn't take an impact on the freeway. I think it was some sort of metal box or something. I was in the carpool lane, had nowhere to go, and it was some sort of metal box, and it really did a number on that this bumper. Like I said, it is a M3 bumper. And I just painted it, so hitting something on the freeway was a must. Kind of like when you buy a brand new car and you get your first door ding. It's gonna happen. Is there enough room to pop this one in there? I'll loosen this bolt. See if I can slide this light over a little bit. There we go. That's it for this car. I really don't like how these plastic things are bowed out. On both of them. But there we go. Now we're going to test them and make sure that they work. we go. Both fog lights are working. Covers are back on. I don't think the covers are going to last very long because of the gap on them. But I'm going to go grab the other car and we're going to get that one fixed. We'll be right back. All right. So here's my other E46. This one's got a couple of issues. One, I lost the center cap. This one's got the European front ZHP bumper. And then as you see, these were glass and it shattered and lost the ring on the driver's side, hit something on the freeway, and this side is still okay. So we are going to be putting in the yellow lights into this one, and then I got to go through my stuff and find the rings, because I know I have rings for this one. So I have to get some rings, and I know I have a spare cap somewhere as well. So stay tuned, and we're going to get this stuff repaired now. This usually happens about once a year for me. Now this one's got the ring still on it. I had them painted the color of the car. They're normally black. When I painted this front bumper and changed it out, just by doing these little things, it really keeps the car looking fresh and new. I've had this car a long time. This was the first new car I ever bought. Well, new to me. It was a 1-year lease return, and when I bought it, it had 20,000 miles on it. But it was the first time I financed a car and bought a car, was this car right here. And I struggled to pay for it. And that's why I'll never sell it. So, let's check this one now. Alright. So, these fog lights are working. I gotta find the covers. And I have added halos, which are those halo rings around this. That's something that I added to the car. Wow, this marker light is coming out. But I do the headlight lenses. Usually every 2 years I'll replace those out. And then this one, I did add the M3 LED tail lights to it. And you'll see them flickering on camera, even though they're solid on when you're staring at them. But yep, this was my first E46 I ever bought, and it just hit 100,000 miles. The other one, I'll show you guys this. The ZHP one, I ended up having to do during this COVID. I ended up putting rods and main bearings in it because I had, you see that one's down to copper. I had a slight knock in the motor. And I heard the knock, so I went ahead and tore it down. Of course, changed out this boot because they always rip. Trying to find the bearing that was bad. It was only number 3. Now I bought this car used. God, those are down to copper. So I think it was this cylinder. Yeah, I think this was the bearing right here. As you see, I caught it before it spun the bearing. So I ended up pulling the motor out and putting rods and mains in my ZHP one, the one we just put clear lights on. And I did that during the COVID break so that I can get that car up and running again. But I do have extra tires, wheels, that kind of stuff for my ZHP cars. It is a car I like because they'll run forever. And normally you don't have rods or main issues, but I think somebody didn't take care of it and do the oil changes on time. So it ended up spinning the number 3. They are straight 6s. They're kind of like 2 JZ motors in these things. So, but there we go, guys. I'm gonna find the rest of the parts. If you like these little automotive tutorial videos, let me know. All right, went ahead and got the covers on the fog lights. Got it all cleaned up. It's been sitting for a little while. Still gotta find that one wheel cap. I gotta get the back lights soldered up so that it'll turn off my warning lights on the dash, because it thinks the tail lights are out right now. The ballast resistors on the tail lights went bad. But there it is, guys. This is my first E46. And you can see that I do have the cover rings on both fog lights now. This style bumper is an open style, so not too bad. So I'm gonna go give it a run around, get the oil, everything circulating. I did notice a power steering leak, so it's got some power steering cooling lines that are starting to leak, just from age and sitting. But I literally have every part for an E46 in this box. So this box here, I literally have every line, hose, motor mount, engine mount, everything that you can possibly buy for an E46. All the hoses, everything in this box. That's a $2,000 box. That's done at 100,000 miles. That box is due for this car at 100,000 miles. That box costs $2 grand. It comes with radiators, control arms, basically all the rubber You change at 100,000 miles, and then you're good for another 100,000 miles. It includes water pump, coolant, all the power steering lines, AC lines. It comes with every cooler line, oil gasket, oil pan gasket, intake, a couple of the parts that fail. It comes with the power steering reservoir. Literally, it comes with everything you need for E46. People get rid of these cars because if the dealer were to do that service, the 100,000 mile service, is anywhere from 5 to 10 grand based off what else is wrong when they get in there. Me, I just buy the parts and I do the work myself. So I spend about, you know, 2,000 to 2,500 doing that service. And that's why I have so many of these cars. And then from there, you don't have to do anything for 100,000 miles. All right, just got back from the test drive. Got it put back in the garage. So all cleaned up. And fog light and rings and everything stayed on. Nice and clean. Nice and clean. There we go, guys. That's how I maintain my E46s. That repair cost me $46. So there we go. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.